r/AskReddit. What dire warning from your parents turned out to be bullshit? If you get in trouble at school, it will go on your permanent record and ruin your life. Not one says anyone, from college admissions to prospective employers to loan officers, so much as mentioned the legendary permanent record. That my two choices in life were either Harvard or McDonald's. Sheesh. Bit of a gray area in between those two extremes. I was born left-handed. My pops used to smack the shit out of me if I used my left hand, in essence forcing me to be right-handed. I had to constantly remind myself to use the hand with my birthmark to avoid smacks. As an adult, I asked my pops why he forced me to be right-handed, and he gave some tepid response about when you're left-handed you will have a tendency to pull that way when you're driving, exposing you to oncoming traffic. Sounded like bullshit to me, and is confirmed by all the left-hand drivers the world that don't spontaneously drive into oncoming traffic. If anyone has any ideas, I'd love to know. For reference, my pops is an old-school Vietnamese dude. I feel like it's a cultural thing, but I was raised American and have no fucking idea. I did a real estate closing a few years ago for a recent middle-aged Chinese immigrant. She looked at me writing with wide eyes and said, "You're left-handed." "So am I?" I was confused because she was writing with her right hand, so I asked, and she said that in China, she wasn't allowed to write with her left hand and that they'd smack her when she tried. My mother would be slapped for using her left hand as a young girl. Apparently it was considered a sign of the devil. That if I used one brand of shampoo and a different brand of conditioner that my hair would fall out. Also, when I was 5 or 6, I asked what would happen if you went the opposite way that you turned the turn signal. My mom told me the car would explode and kill us. Not sure why she told me that shit. I would be unemployable if I didn't learn cursive handwriting. Parents and teachers made me think that every job interview would have a cursive test in which they would measure the loops on the L's or something. If you unscrew your belly button, your bum will fall off. I did my best to avoid screwdrivers for a large part of my childhood because I lacked the willpower not to stuff them into my belly button. I was terrified at the thought of losing my bum, but intrigued by the possibility. We can't pay $1 to go in the haunted house because they might not have a bathroom in there. What if you have to go to the bathroom? Just admit you're cheap, Dad. I'd much rather have this than my experience growing up. My dad would always complain at ticket booths about how it was free that one day, so it should be free today. Or he would ask for some discount that didn't apply to him, or claim to have a coupon that maybe he had at one point, or is expired now. We would have escalating levels of managers come and talk to us, and he would keep doing it. He made my mom cry sometimes. I was just embarrassed. He sees it as good business sense. They think you're stupid if you don't ask for a discount. He doesn't realize this isn't a bazaar. He doesn't even come from a country where that's normal. The worst part about all this? We could afford it. My dad just hates paying for experiences and would rather go shopping or do anything else. Edit. I put it in the story because I knew it would come up, but it seems to have been glossed over by many. Again, he doesn't even come from a country where bartering/haggling is commonplace, at least not in large cities where my family is from. The most you can do is maybe ask for a bulk discount if you're at an independent stall in a market or something, which is something I'm not against, and it doesn't hurt to ask. However, my dad takes it a step further and feels that just because he's him, he should get greater discount/free things. My ex-stepdad owned a restaurant where I worked as a busboy when I was a teenager. He was always very tough on me, berating my work, etc., while telling me that he was going easy on me, and when I got a job in the real world, his favorite phrase, "My bosses would be so much tougher on me." I quit a month before my 16th birthday and went to work at the local Dairy Queen and found out he was full of shit. My mom left him shortly after that, thankfully. Worked at an ice cream shop for my first job and told people how cruel and shady the managers/owner are. That's just what jobs are like. You have an easy job, it only gets worse. I was contemplating suicide b/c. I was bullied by management. Once a manager pushed me and started talking shit on my mom, I quit. Turns out literally everywhere else is a much better work environment, and you shouldn't feel like crying or throwing up when going into work. Edit. Thanks for the kind comments, everyone. I did not expect this to blow up as much as it did. If I cross my eyes, they might end up staying like that. Edit. Disclaimer. Some comments I've received believe this to be true. I'm no expert, but did a quick Google search, which also said it was a myth. Cross your eyes at your own risk. I'm cross-eyed. Might tell that to my kids. When we would go to the beach, I would never want to get out of the water, so my mom told me that staying in the water too long would make me waterlogged. She said she could look into my eyes and see the level of water in my system. If the water raised above my iris, that meant I had to get out and let the water drain before I would drown. I believed this for far too long. My mom would always tell me, take that look off your face or it will freeze like that, when I was little. I took that as fact. I really wanted dimples like my friend down the street, so I would sit in my room with pencil erasers pushed into my cheeks forever. No dimples still. If you play too many video games, you'll have to get little braces on your fingers. Mom, the kid at the cash register at the grocery store hit them because he played too many video games. Just wait for the carpal tunnel to set in around age 40 and we can talk again. Not really a warning, but my dad told me I was Princess Poopsalata of Lola Island. I was maybe 4/5 and went to school bragging about how I was a princess and they better respect my authority. The school called my parents and my dad just about died from laughter. I can always make another you. I can't make another me. Turns out he can't. He got a vasectomy after I was born. Damn, that's cold. My dad got a vasectomy before I was born, but it was botched. I was a lovely surprise, I'm sure. My mom lied about being on birth control. 9 months later I was born. I didn't ever ask my parents for the story of how I was born. My dad just dropped that line on me after picking me up from school in 5th grade. Me, hey dad. Dad, have a good day at school? Me, it was alright. I mean, it's still school. Dad, just so you know, you weren't an accident. Your mom lied to me about being on birth control. Me. Getting less than 90% in school will make me a trash man and live a very miserable life. Edit. When I saw 100 messages on my phone, I thought it was my WhatsApp. Holy damn, I was surprised that it was Reddit, and no, they're not Asians. They're Egyptians. I only wish I had a dire warning of any kind. In the late 70s I wanted to buy my first car. It was a 1977 Triumph TR7. It was the most unreliable car I ever owned. My dad later told me that he knew it would be a money pit, and when I asked him why he didn't warn me, he said I should learn from my mistakes. Thanks, Dad. Oh, that reminds me of my father. I asked him to tag along for the home inspection for my first house. Months after I purchased the home, he told me it was a money pit and that I should have asked for his advice. Dad, you're a certified home inspector, and I asked you to be there during the inspection. Sniffling kills brain cells. I didn't sniff or snort, even during colds, because I was terrified I would lose my brain cells. Turns out my mom thinks sniffling is annoying and didn't want to hear it. Edit. Gold? I know it's worthless internet points, but I'm so happy my childhood emotional trauma has finally paid off. Thanks. Edit 2, thank you for the silver. I feel validated. Edit 3, platinum? Miss. Thank you, kind Redditor. Your generosity keeps my sniffles at bay. My mom used to tell me that masturbation would turn someone into a rapist cause your body doesn't know any different once you get addicted. Mental health and addiction played a large part in a lot of her ideas about how the world functions. 20 years on, she's doing much better. Oral sex is dangerous and not pleasurable for either party. Oh my, how very wrong this statement was. You can't eat steak that is pink on the inside. That's how you get sick. Believe this till I was about 19, until I learned that it pretty much can be as red in the center as you like, so long as it's properly seared. Turned out my mom just didn't like rare steak and felt uncomfortable making it for me and my sister, so she just lied. I was always skinny growing up, even though a lot of my family is overweight. I also had no interest in physical activities. My parents always used to tell me that if I didn't exercise I'd start getting fat by the time I was 25. Joke's on them. I didn't start putting on weight until I was 30. All of them. Don't talk to strangers. They'll take you into an alley and kill you for your money. Your friends don't care about you. They just want to use you for your money. Don't take that dance class. Employers will think you're weird and not hire you. If you can't tell me everything you're doing there every day, you're not taking it serious enough, and I'm pulling you out of school. Dad lost his marbles a little when I went to college. Your father is a terrible man who will hurt you. No, Mom, just because you had a messy divorce doesn't make him a bad person. I grew up hating him simply because my mother told me to. Around 15 I realized he was a totally chill dude, and she probably made up most of the stuff she said. When I graduated HS I moved in with him. Your passion and talent for art, games, web design, and photo manipulation won't make you any money. Go to college for something that will get you an actual career, like psychology. I graduated high school in 2007. I wanted to go to a particular college of art and design for game design or industrial and product design, but I listened to their advice instead. They were very wrong. Thanks for listening and getting this far. I hope you all enjoyed, and remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed.